Hello, everyone. I have something to ask you. You add
All right,
commands
share,
during
share,
my
share,
campaign.
everyone. Share. I
I
will
still have a
start
long
right away. Share, share, share. Thank you for tuning in. It has been a while for me to be here. Uh, Hey, buddy, what is man? Where are you? Hello, Razda. Razda. Nice to see you. Please share. Hello, brother Gabriel. Nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Banya Isaac.
Hey, Gadi, by Peter. Good one.
Good morning or afternoon from
Yes,
Australia. How are you doing?
afternoon now. It's 12, 18, 18 12, midday. How are you?
Good, good, good. It's getting late on my end.
Okay, all right. So,
All right. I'll stop it from here. And brother Isaac, welcome to Lake State Media. As always, I hope you have something good tomorrow for your people.
yeah.
Um, just hang on a second before I start. And I always say, uh, this is this is a forum just to have a conversation. So for those who are watching, please, I would ask you as always, no profanity, no curse, no anything, no fighting. If you are on that mood, in that mood, please, you rather stay away. Let other people who want to say something and want to discuss things without being taken it personal, let them discuss the issues. Again, Lagos State Media have no right or have no copyright to the music we play. We play them out of YouTube, and that's it. If you don't like your music to be played, let us know, and we'll never play your music on this show. With that being said, Brad Isaac, welcome to Lagos State Media. I have been wondering since yesterday, people are celebrating Torit Mutiny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and these people, they have actually refused to celebrate um, July 9th. And probably that was the cause of Torit Mutiny. People want to have their own country. Which one is which? Okay? And all the people are actually praising the the mutiny in Mali, the cause.
Yeah.
People are celebrating the whole that would have been happening in South Sudan. People are blaming our young generation, the 25 years old, they are not doing anything. But the thing is, haven't we learned anything? Wasn't a mutiny that happened in 1991 that caused us up to today? Caused us not to have a trust for each other. So, help me out here before I open the floor. Welcome to Lake State Media, and I would like your opinion. And it doesn't matter whether you are host. Sometimes, as individual, you gotta have opinion.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Peter Kane. This is a wonderful topic. I really appreciated it. I've been wondering as well when I just watch what is going on in social media. Celebration of August 18, 1955, when the first mutiny that has become to be Anyanya 1, which is the father of is a continuation of the movement that created SPLA, SPLM as well. We have a connection there. So many people celebrating it, and first of all, I would like to thank the media called Dolco. Uh, yeah, he has done a great job. He calls the all people who were the participant of Anyanya 1, those who were there, and they sang their old songs in different languages, in different towns, where they were, where you come from. That's so good. I really, really appreciate that. The work is all right. Number two, our people, they are confused, Peter. They are confused. Why I said they are confused? They can't differentiate or look beyond their expectation, what they are expecting. Celebration of mutiny, they took it is the important part. And when we come to celebrate the 16th May, there are a lot of demonstration organized, strike, like Red Card movement, like what they are just forcing to distract people. That's one. Two, no acknowledgement. What has happened in 2013, as you have written, 1991 and 2016, all these things are bloodshed mutinies. We lost life. We lost people there. But nobody talk about it. They talk mutiny, and now they are looking forward for the mutiny to occur again. Because why I'm saying this, they are praising what has happened in Mali. And I even read some people saying Tiger, they are the one who can carry out mutiny like what has happened in Mali. Simply and get rid of Kir, Gay1 and all this stuff. You see, brother, that's why I said our people are very confused. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know the consequences behind it of what they are planning, how it's going to hurt the nation. So that's my own analysis, what I have seen. It's really a very tough topic, and it's good to be discussed As we are the citizen of South Sudan, it's our right to come out, not being a host or what. We have to speak out. What you see is going wrong, you have to say this is wrong. This is not how we can do it. We have to do it in this way.
Absolutely, brother Isaac. And I have been worrying about how we think the South Sudanese in general. First of all, they should have understand what is the cause of our problem. That we can't understand each other at this point.
Mm.
It was a mutiny. It was
Yes.
91, and that create a vacuum where there is no trust again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, what if that happened now? What would you think? We are going to be in a deep. I mean, I don't want to say this, but it's a reality for the next 50 years to come. We haven't even had a first election as an independent country, a peaceful first election.
Mm.
We haven't done that. So why would you hope for the fact that we want to start with the wrong foot? Uh, yeah, it is unfortunate. I, if I really want to hear from these people. Why would they? If they remember, it wasn't less than 5 years ago when Mali also have actually uh, have a court.
Mm.
So that's what happened. So they are now having that trend of, every few years, someone actually has to pick the gun and make sure take over.
Very, very unfortunate, brother. What is in our people mind? Um, they need to take the culture
Go
of
ahead. I will not share the link. If
yeah,
you
share
have
the
the
link such
video,
that we get more people to come on board. Uh, so mutiny is in the head of many people, and also which is coup d'etat, and that is the culture of Sudanese government, and that thing, that culture of Sudan, the old Sudan, we don't need to bring it in South Sudan.
no,
We need democratic process of taking the government and handing over the government peacefully. No bloodshed, no wars, no all this stuff. But if you look for the shortcut, which is the coup d'etat, you are
no.
killing people. You're killing the voters. You're killing those whom you say that you want to come and rule. So it's really very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate, and it's a wrong ideology to stick in the mind of South Sudanese, those who are advocating for the government change or regime change, let's say in that way. Uh, there are some peaceful process that should be followed, and then the regime will be changed peacefully, without any bloodshed, without any hatred, without tribalism, without all this nonsense. Now our people are suffering a lot. Hmm? Suffering a lot. We have poverty, economically, socially, all these things they're happening. So I'm really so sorry to hear those who are advocating
Hello.
thing.
Thanks.
Hey, Don
Hey, how
Lotkin,
are you?
That
Isaac,
are
how are you doing?
how are you, my brother?
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I'm
Nice,
good. How
nice
are
to
you?
see you again. Hmm.
Good, good, good.
Welcome to Lake State Media Show.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you, thank you.
the legend. You have read the topic. It has multiple part of it. First of all, the main one was it's actually is the unification of the SPLM as a party imminent or its split for the viability of the cohesive environment, political environment in South Sudan. Which one is which? Is that a unification or splitting the SPLM into two as it is now, IO, maybe not more than into two, we have real SPLM and so forth. And then why would you want actually a COP or mutiny to take place in South Sudan?
Yeah.
Even the mutiny or COP that actually created this unity and also a mistrust within our society.
Oh yeah. First of all, I wanted to greet the people of South Sudan and you gentlemen, Isaac and Peter Kenyi. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Dolarjin, the leader of the UPSS Union Party of South Sudan. If I will begin with the Mutiny itself, when we talk of Mutiny in respect to South Sudan and the way how our South Sudanese right now are actually responding to what is happening in Mali, you can see there is a kind of lack of understanding of Mutiny and lack of the history itself, how it happened in our country.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, a Mutiny can really bring quick result, but only if the Mutiny is carried out by the people who have the idea. And sometimes, in Mutiny, sometimes it can be talked about, and people who have ideas, there's people who can grab it, and usually that is why they don't succeed. So in our case, most of our people don't understand our history. For example, if we talk of Torit Mutiny, about in August 18, 1955, what has happened is that it was something that ideas that were discussed in 1947. Then there was kind of people who actually did not understand them, and even the people who thought about them, they grab it. And then they wanted to carry out what actually was a thinking of people even they don't know. And what happened in Torit was a fail because the people who thought about it, they were not there. And that is why, what happened in Torit, there was a deployment of troops, some troops from the Arab North and some of the troops from the Christian or maybe African source. They were in Torit as a barrack. And I think if I go back to rewind the history, there was only 9 junior officers from Southern Sudan. And there was 24 officers senior from the north. And what happened is that, the officers, they understand something that the meeting that was done in Juba back in 1947. And then when the Arabs say now, most of these officers, because there was something cooking, everybody knows it. So they wanted to transfer them to the north. And what happened? They resist. So there was a guy, actually was, I think, Maladimawala, second lieutenant. And his name is Ronaldo. Ronaldo, I think he's from Latuko. So what happened is that the guy actually collided with those soldiers, and they fought quickly. And when they fought, the aim was to kill all the officers from the north so that they can take the town. And they managed to do that, and then there was a lot of death actually happened. So what happened is that, because it's not their idea, it is something that they just grab in the middle, they end up failing, because after that Ronaldo was inaugurated as a leader of the Mutiny, of the Torit Mutiny. So he became a leader, and for a while, and then the Northern went on meeting and they tried to convene him. He kind of refused, okay? But they went and bring another mediator, somebody who actually understands, I think was a former governor in Juba. So he went and he mediated, and then he accepted. He accepted to go to to negotiate in the north, and when he accepted negotiation from there, I think they offer him some position and all that, and then he accepted even the soldiers to be transferred to the north. And from there, when the integration was done, he was actually killed in a parade. So you see how and then the whole mutiny failed. There was nothing. So the reason it was failing is because it was not his idea. You know, this mutiny was thought about. The independence was from both Diu, from Juba Conference, some of Salatin, from Apanal, and from Barghazal, and all that. The meeting actually did not materialize, but he took it quickly. Like it is something that is. So that is why I'm saying, in mutiny, sometimes if the idea is not yours, then they are likely to fail. But if the idea is carried out by the people who thought about them, then the idea is likely to succeed, and it will last. Most of the mutiny actually can be successful are the one that are thought by the owners of the idea. So you see, with our South Sudanese mutiny, it became successful just in July 15, 1963, when the people who thought about it, the liberation in the Apanal was formed, and the people of Apanal actually who thought about it, they went ahead and sat down in 1963. Yeah, you see, Juba Conference, very good, thank you. Thank you very much. That was the idea, you see, and that is why our people, you know, I wanted us, we are very ignorant here. We don't know our history, and sometimes we jump things up. Like some people now, they tell me, oh, Sudan independence started in 1955. What is, you see, the German here is, these are the truth. We have to go back to our root, Jama. We have to know our history, so that we can actually focus on reality, not illusion. So you see what I'm saying here, mutiny, they can be successful and they have a less risk only if the thinkers actually apply their thinking and get it. But if the thinkers are not there and somebody else maybe is implementing it, they are likely to fail. They will fail, actually, for real. They will fail because they are strategies. They are not just easy. So when you come to the success of this, it was really a struggle because people grab it in the middle. And when the people in Apanal met again in 1963, so they went to strategize about 1947, and they went to get back. So that's why we can claim now there was a relation between Anyanya 1, and they call it officially. It's no longer Torit Mutiny now. They named it in 1963. It was officially named Anyanya 1, and that's why it transferred to Anyanya 2 and then to the SPLA. So just a little bit about that. So when we come to what we call a mutiny, what is happening in Mali right now? Well, you know, in Mali, many international, including America, they condemn that. Okay, a lot of countries they condemn it. But if you see the literacy, what is going on around right now, they kind of coming down to accept it because it has less death, and the goal is achieved only arresting 2 people, Prime Minister and the President. So you see, that is very specific. Even the people who died might be very, very, very minor, very minimum. Even the military themselves, there was nobody killed. That is to the goal. And that is actually, if we can argue, I actually argue if our forces in South Sudan, if they wanted to do that, maybe arresting Salva Kiir and his only 5 by president, that will be very great for us in the country. There will be no death, and the goal will have been achieved, and we will find a lasting peace. So we can get a general that will drive us to an election, so that people like Dolarjin can go to a ballot. You see, that is what we can. We can. So I think is arguable a very good strategies for our current situation, because our current situation now, there are military who are insisting to sit in that seat without even giving other people a chance. And that is become a problem. So if the army takes charge and be able to arrest, and they can do that very easily, you know, they can do that because the way it was done in Mali.
Haven't we tried before?
Sorry?
Haven't we tried that before?
No, it was never tried. It was never tried.
What happened in
If
91?
you look at the 2013.
What happened in 91? What happened in 2013? And what happened in 2016?
Well, you know, in 1991, what was happening is it was actually a reaction to tribal killing. Okay, it was not a mutiny. Okay, it was not a mutiny because a mutiny would have happened in the headquarters of the SPLM military. But you see, these are tribal fights.
Do you want me to replay my chat video of 91? Do you want me to replay?
No. You know, Machar was a zonal commander by then in 1991, and he was actually joining his tribe that were fighting a tribal war against the Denka, and that was very clear. You know, those of Anyanya 2, like Gordon Kang and other senior officers in Anyanya 2, Paulino Matip, they were fighting a tribal war against the Denka, and that is why you see Machar was with the SPLA, so he was used by John Garang. Hold on. So Machar was used by John Garang to fight his own people in Upper Nile, actually in particular in the Western Upper Nile. So what happened is that, so after 4 years later, he realized that it was a tribal war, and he just shifted the gear to his own tribe. And then the fight actually was based against Denka and the Nuer. And that's why you see there was, even right now you go to Bor, most of the intellectual people in Twitch, they will agree with me. It was really a tribal war because there was a kind of tribal genocide in Bor. Even though it was minor, only 3,000 were killed, it was seen as a tribal genocide. So you cannot dispute. It's not. That's not a mutiny.
Okay.
That's not a mutiny.
Okay. What about 2013?
2013 was not also a mutiny because 2013 we are, 2013 in Juba we got independent. There was tribal militia. Paulino Matip has his own tribal militia. Salva Kiir has his own tribal militia. Riek Machar brought some tribal militia. They all actually formed in Juba and they were not integrated in the army.
Can I ask you one question? I just need you to define this term. What is mutiny?
Yeah, a mutiny is just a quick takeover of power from a specific people. It's just a very quick thing that a strategy that you can do to take power very quick. It's not like a coup, and it's kind of like you do it very quick. It's another way of militarily strategy that you can take power quickly, but not in a tribal line. So mutiny, it can be like, let's say if our country right now, there is a unified force, like what they are doing right now. If we have a unified force, and then if the unified force understand the condition or the situation in the country, and most of the general understand it, so from Bilpam headquarters, they can merge maybe to the home of those 5 vice president and the president and arrest them. Then that will be a mutiny. So that one will be not a tribe like a Nuer going to do that or Denga going to do that. It will be a unified force, and they can choose one of the general to take people to the election. So it's simple. But if it is on a tribal line, that's not a mutiny. Mutiny should never be tribal. If you tribalize it, then it ends up a tribal war in the city, and a lot of people die.
Okay, simple question. Why would you believe if that happened now, it will not be considered as a tribal line? Why?
Yeah. Right now, if it happened right now, it may not be tribal line if those unified forces are integrated and they are deployed. So it cannot be a tribal line. And if they go ahead, arrest the president, arrest the 5 vice president, it will never be considered as a tribal line because the forces are integrated and they are mixed together. But if those unified forces are not deployed, then it will end up be a tribal tribal conflict.
Well, yes, this is the reality. The fact has to be said as it is. Looking at the current situation in our country, no quick military solution will solve this. So if anyone having actually a bad week thinking about a quick military solution, you are actually lying to yourself. Because anything that we do here, anything that we do in South Sudan, is always because of our a tribal community, always drawn to a tribal line. So a quick military, whether it is mutiny, whatever you call it, a cause, it's not going to solve a problem of South Sudan. In 91, when Viet decided, he did not mean that it was going to be travel. It did not work. 2013, it did not work. Regardless of who is doing it, it's not going to work in South Sudan.
Yeah, I don't know.
What happened in Mali, it happened less than 5 years ago. So would you want to see a country like every 5-10 years you see a mutiny or you see a coup taking place? Is that the country you want to have? Absolutely no.
No, Kenya, Peter, look at here. Mutiny only happen to countries that actually have some kind of dictatorship. That is where mutiny happen. So let's say we have mutiny in our country. We have one mutiny that arrested all those dictators. And then the president that will come, that will be elected, respect the rule, especially the term of the constitution. Then that country will never have a mutiny. For example, do Kenya have mutiny? No, it's because they respect the term. So if they say you are in office.
How long Daniel Arap Moi has been ruling Kenya? 24 years.
Who is that?
Daniel Trotish Arap Moi. How long he has been ruling Kenya?
Yeah, but that is when this is the problem. How you guys you mistaken how government works. Kenya. Hold on. Yeah, Kenya. Most of these Africans, since they get their independent, so when they get independent, they don't have a term limit. But if they get independent, they do what we call a transitional power. So when that one is done, like from Jomo Kenyatta to Daniel Arap Moi, it was a transitional kind of power. But now the government of Kenya, when they realize that there is no constitution, so the government sit down and work on the constitution. The first thing they did is the term limit. The term limit is very important. How many years the president should be actually sitting on power. And if they say it's 8 years maximum, 2-term election, then that's it. If your 8 years is done, you go home. Whether people like you or they don't like you, you go home to respect the constitution. That is what the people are respecting right now. But in case of Mali, this guy forced himself. He's actually like Selfa. The second term was ended and then he forced himself into power. So you see how problem is. That is why we have problem in some countries. And that's why the mutiny come in. That's why rebellion come in and all that. If they respect the term, I don't think there will be any mutiny or any rebellion. Yeah. So that is what. So in conclusion, what I wanted our people to understand here is that yes, with mutiny can really be very applicable in our situation, because it really our country is really very wild, and there's a lot of dictators, there's a lot of militia across the country. So you cannot force election right now. You need a strategic militarily to handle that situation. Then from there, we need a leader. The military can organize the election. But since we are in tribal line, then we need to accept that we have to have a unified force that can prepare us to go for election. Then when we have election, then we have a elected government then that government will write a constitution. And some people actually, you know, for us, a lot of confusion here. Sometimes you see what they are doing right now. They say constitution first and then government next. This is wrong. It's not the other way around. You have to fix the government first, then that government will come up with the constitution. Then the constitution is applied in the country by the government. It's not the constitution that actually rule the people. That is the problem why we are getting a lot of things of mess. So what I will say our people right now is that whatever happened in Mali, if we have the unified force, that the security arrangement that they are just implementing in the country, if we have in place, yes.
I heard you before calling yourself the chairperson of the party, and you are a commander-in-chief. Do you have forces?
I have forces everywhere in South Sudan.
Everywhere in South Sudan, and you are in Western world, and you are calling for mutiny.
I'm not calling for mutiny. My forces, if I call now for mutiny, they will be fighting. I'm saying if we have unified force, then the mutiny is possible in our country. Okay? So but right now we have tribal forces. That is why the mutiny cannot be
tribal forces, you mean? So
yes.
You have the tribal forces.
Sorry?
So you have the tribal forces.
The whole country has tribal forces. My understanding of the South Sudan conflict situation. And all those leaders, they have some tribal force. Whether they are engaged in war or they are not. Like my forces right now, we are not in war because we are giving other people a chance that think they can solve things.
You have admitted that your forces are from your tribe or you're from family. That's your
no. My forces, I have forces from across South Sudan. And you know, my vice president, if my forces are from my tribe, the whole structure of the movement will be from tribe. And you know, my vice president is a Denka. I am a Nuer. We are totally different. We have Equatorian. But our forces, they are not fighting.
Who is your vice president to be?
You don't know Benjamin Matot? you don't know from Lagos State. All right, guys. You know, I just wanted to say thank you very much. You know, we have a long way to go. I just wanted to say that let us just hope that there will be unified forces in our country that will respect the rule of the law. And then from there, we will have a government that actually respects the right of the people.
Yeah,
so that we have the country.
I would like to tell you here and the audience and our viewers, let's say, please let advocate for peace. If we talk how to bring war or how to make mutiny or change the government while there is a process of peace in place already, and we don't support that, and we are looking for another problem, that will never take us anywhere. Please, I'm just begging you. Let's drop this crazy idea of everybody want to be a leader. We can't be a leaders at the same time, all of us. There is a chances. If we allow democratic process in our country, everyone has right to rule the country. You have to lobby. You make your own campaign. If you win, if your ideology or your ideas are being praised by the nation, they pick you and bring you up on top, and you lead us. Not to come and lead people by barrel of guns. So I'm just appealing to those who are advocating for the coup and those who are advocating for the mess to happen again in Juba. This is a loss of life, especially we who are in Western world. What we just created here, we are not in the country. The situation our people are in is totally different from where we are. You go to bed, you sleep in a very nice bed, you eat a good meal, and you endanger life of others back home. That is inhuman. It's unacceptable. It's not good. Doesn't show your leadership even if you claim to be a leader. That's what I want to drop in here. And thank you.
Thank you, brother Isaac. we all know Darlington has always been a controversial individual, and his opinion is his opinion. Uh, but sometimes there are things that are relevant. If you want to argue about it, you can argue about it. But in this situation, it's not applicable to South Sudan at all. We have mistrust to each other regardless of who is doing what. And the question is, why would he interrupt the peace that we have so far, though it is not going on the pace that we are hoping to see, but it's actually standing steady. So let's hope for the best instead of having a wishful mind that brought us into this place this situation in the first place. Uh, Another question that I want to know for sure is the split of SPLM or reunification imminent? Because do we want to have now so far with the current peace agreement?
Go
Oh,
ahead.
look like people don't hear my voice. With the current peace agreement, uh, it looked like it's on party line where SPLM-IO look like it's going to be a separate party. But the Arusha agreement stated that there must be reunification of the two parties. Which one is which? Can they stay as a split two parties, or would it be actually a good idea for both two parties to unite? So I don't know. It's a question that I want to hear from members of SLMIO. Do they want to be an independent party, or do they want to still join the SPLM party? Are those of a real SPLM and who else? Couple of them, the SSUUF or whatever it is. So either, if you
Yeah.
had to decide which one is the best way, it's split for the good political environment or reunify the both of those two parties.
You see, the first thing here, Peter, is just trust and understanding. They go together. If people, even if you are fighting along line with a different vision or different ideas, you will never win that fighting. What is happening in our country to all these rebel forces and the parties who are just coming out from the SPLM, SPLA, and they went on to form their own movement or parties. They even have a problem by themselves. They don't trust themselves. That is why I can give a quick example. In IO, when they signed peace agreement that brought Riek Machar to Juba and sworn in as the first vice president, within his own forces, a lot of people defected, going to the government, which means their ideology or which they were fighting along with Riek is not completed, or what is happening, God knows. So here, we will never ever be stable unless we trust ourselves and allow democracy and leave aside the violence. Violence will never help out. But if we do it in a social way, that in a peaceful way, we will make it. Sudan will be the best and a beautiful country. South Sudan, South Sudan will be the beautiful, most peaceful country if we abandon violent means of coming to power. Like what has happened in Kenya, we have seen. That is the quick example I gave my brother before when he was talking about Kenya. Daniel Ramoy, when Mzee Jomo Kenyatta died, he was the vice president. He took over the power and led the government. When the term of the election came, even if he rigged the election, nobody took arms. He controlled it, and the opposition, they fight with the words in the parliaments, and you make lobbies outside from the grassroots coming up, not violent. Nobody was talking about violence in Kenya until he himself just steps aside and leave the people to lead. But if you say that I need to enforce myself, I need to come by force, you will never make it, because government is a government. No matter how powers you will get, like those who are lobbying outside, I can say the world now, where most of the international communities, they are advocating for the regime change. They are behind all these things, but they fail because they don't know exactly the strength of the gifted leadership or a gifted nation. We came a very long way from 1956. The minutes I told you, I showed the in the camera here. This is the minutes of the meeting held in Juba in 1947, from 12 to date 13 of June 1947. There are names of the attendees, governors of Upper Nile, of Barakazal, Equatoria, and some chiefs. They came all there. They were in. So disagreement on how the things are going has led to all this mess. That the mutiny was planned. The mutiny was planned, but it was not a mutiny plan. It was about the coup. And if you go when the government is coming to disarm people and come to arrest, like what has happened in 16 May, this is where the fighting started, and it broke out to be a mutiny. Mutiny, the successful mutiny is something that plan can occur in every corner of the country. That is called coup. But if it is covered by the security, then it is no longer be a coup. You will be attacked, and then the date that you said that thing should happen will never be reached. That's what has happened in 16 May as well. It was something that planned to occur, to happen in Juba, Khartoum, Nyala, Kassala, Angelina, Rumbek, Wow, Malakal, everywhere. But unfortunately, it was discovered, and then when it was discovered, the battalion of Mia Kamsa, where they were in Bor and Ayod and all this stuff, they sent the forces such that to arrest these people. This is where the fighting is started. So it's not a part of the history that we are here. We are here, and for myself, I need to tell my people of South Sudan that don't praise the violence means of change of regime. That's my message. Don't praise it and don't advocate for it. Like what has happened in Mali, though it's a bit peaceful. Civilians anyway have been on the street striking that they need the government to change and all this stuff, and that soldier took that responsibility, has arrested them, the prime minister and the president. So we don't need that to happen in Juba. We are now in the process of peace agreement. So I don't see what is still people want here. While the rebel, we got 5 vice president, which is a historic thing in the country. Which country do have 5 vice president if somebody is not looking for the means of peace to come in the country? That is the reason Kira has accepted to have 5 vice president. We should appreciate that. and we have to work with these people. Let's give them a chance. Let's give them a chance to see until the deadline of the peace agreement is over. This is where we can talk. But now we cannot just go and talk all this nonsense in the social media. I'm really very painful about how my people about this.
Thank you, brother Isaac. It's a reality people don't understand. Always there is a political environment. The Mali political environment is different from South Sudan environment. Like I said before, it's not like we have not tried. It's I'm going to repeat again. It happened 91, happened 2013, happened 2016. It's not bearing us a fruit. So thinking of that is a bad wishful thinking to countries of ours, especially South Sudan. Let try the peaceful means where we now those who were dissidents who want to rule and who were in position. We have succeeded this. We have sacrificed our right, and that right is to say, this is the person I want to lead me in my community. And we sacrifice that for the next 3 years. Where now, if you want someone in your community, in your society, to take care of the affairs of your community, you don't have that right. Why? Because we refuse not to hear the sound of the gun, because we had enough to fight each other. We have nobody left to kill for us to be successful. So let's give peace a chance, and that's why we said here, the situation in Mali is totally different from situation in South Sudan, and it doesn't matter even if it is President Kiir brother who is doing it. It's not going to go well. Even if it is Riek Machar, his son is doing it, it's not going to go well. Or her wife herself, which is the Minister of Defense, Angelina, it's not going to go well. So it is a fact. It's just you are causing more distraction. To be honest. So our people, oh God, tomorrow, it's a fact and it's reality. We don't know the difference between the good and the bad. What will happen in the future and what's happening today. Brother Marit, welcome to Lagos State Media. I know you are working.
Thank you.
And still the people
Thank you, guys.
see that you're getting all the money from jail. Where you
Yeah,
are living,
while we don't sleep, we
when
work.
you work in the day and night, you're still working.
David, good morning.
Exactly. Yeah. I think more that greeting you guys. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Peter and Isaac, for this wonderful topic. I was having a conversation with one of our South Sudanese who have had all media yesterday. Our diversity, I was commenting. They were celebrating Torit community. So they were having that show. So I asked them the simple question. So the simple question that I had them, nobody answered to me. Nobody answered me that question. I had them that, okay, when 16 May came, this year, 2020, and July 9th came, the boys got it. They say that we are not celebrating it because there's no reason to celebrate, because the country is in war. So they don't want. But when it comes to the Torit on the 18th, August 18, 2020, they celebrated yesterday. They do a show. Many of them, they did the show. So what is behind of this? Why they don't want to celebrate May 16 and July 9? Which is July 9 is the most important than August 18, 1955 and May 16. Because for the Torit, come to May 16 and 2011, you see? But if they say that they want to celebrate for the August 18 and they don't want to celebrate July 9, they don't organize July 9, which is a very important, it was an important for the South Sudanese history to celebrate, no matter what, you are a rebel supporter, you are a government supporter, we are all South Sudanese. That day is a one-time lifetime. So people should celebrate that. But the voice carried. So that question, they didn't answer me. But now they connected, you see? So when it comes to the Mali, you see how our people, they are so confused. When they come to the Mali, they went out, say, okay, we are calling all South Sudan. And these people who are doing this, are people who live in diaspora.
Yes, that's what I said. That's what I'm talking about.
These people are in America, they are in Australia, they are in Canada, and they are in Europe.
Europe. They're not in Africa.
And they're calling this. See how they're confusing it?
They are sitting behind their computers comfortably and a keyboard.
They are keyboard warriors. You see?
And that's the problem. Because the KFC, McDonald's, and he start typing some terrible things, and he's eating chicken, and he doesn't know what is happening back home. Somebody that is sending to war or to have difficulties is hungry. Maybe you spend 2 or 3 days without food, and you are in Hungry Jack or in McDonald's eating KFC, and you are just advocating for fighting. What is it? Go ahead, Madid. Your voice lost.
Madid, you lost the voice.
We can't hear you here. Well work, Gwal. We pin down the link. Just follow the link and I will bring you in. Whether you use the YouTube or with that is the Facebook or YouTube, can bring you in. That is the link. We pin it down. Please, if you really need to be invited, you just use that process. Thank you. Welcome, Agar.
Okay, you guys.
Thank you.
We can hear you now, Madid.
Okay, I'm in the car and I'm using my Wi-Fi, the car Wi-Fi, so that's why I'm cutting off.
Yeah.
Anyway, go back to my point. So these are our South Sudanese who are confused. That's so confused, you know. If they can think that the Mali, when the Mali they do that coup, they didn't call the coup while they are outside the country. They are inside the country, Mali, and they call that. You see? So now these people, they're even creating their own movement that they are calling for the uprising in the country. And they're outside. How they can do that? You see? And this is one of the things that when I talk with some of these South Sudanese, they always say, Abraham is a tribalist, you are government supporters. But the reality is a fact that, you know, you cannot call the regime change while you are an outsider. You see?
Yes.
Why can you put in your mind that why you want to put other people in their life in jeopardy while you are enjoying your life in outside? If you want to give go to South Sudan. And go there, don't live in America and say that kid must go. Go to South Sudan and sit in Juba, or go to any part of any bush. There are a lot of bush in South Sudan. Go on the part of the bush in South Sudan, this kid must go.
That's what Garang was doing with his colleagues to change the regime in Khartoum. He went in the bush.
Yes. Yes. So this is the message that we want to send to our people.
Good morning in Kampala.
Hello, David. Welcome.
So this is the message that I want. Hello, David. And hello, brother. What came aboard? Welcome to the Lake State Media. I hope you are still dreaming that kid must go, right? I'm just kidding. Anyway. Anyway, my point is this: our people should know this, okay? Our people need to know. This is the message we want to send out. And I myself, this is my personal opinion. The coup is not a solution.
Correct.
Calling of Abba is not a solution for South Sudan. Okay? They need to see, because you know, guys, when Northern Sudan had that uprising, they overthrow former Umar Bashir. government. The same people they call, the same people who call for the Mali, they call it, say, okay, that thing will be up in South Sudan. You see, they get that. But something they don't understand, South Sudan is not the same like those countries. South Sudan we have 64 tribes, and we have our political background is different than those countries. So you cannot compare South Sudan to other countries. Whatever happened to those countries, don't say that okay, it will happen in South Sudan. It's a no. So my point is this: these individuals need to support peace. Okay, peace is the solution in South Sudan. Unity is the solution in South Sudan. Now we are so divided. Leave alone South Sudan. Leave alone people who live inside South Sudan. People who South Sudan who live in outside. They are dividing themselves. They are divided in tribal lines. They are divided in political background. All of this. There are people. There are groups supporting NAS. There are groups supporting IO, and there are groups supporting Breakaway IO. You see, we have two IO now. And brother one, okay, I don't know what was.
So much rebellion. Rebellion within rebellion.
Rebellion. My niece, well before is here now. My niece is here now. I don't know, brother, my niece. I don't know, are you a IO Riyad Machar or are you a IO Breakaway? I don't know. So you will answer that later when you come to your chance, you see? And then it was in people create, okay, we are a movement. There's a new movement. They create a party every day in social media, you see? And they know where to go. So here is the point, my people of South Sudanese, especially people who are leading diaspora. Okay, we should support to be ambassador of peace in South Sudan. We should bring like unified and talk the peace. That's the only solution that can bring our people together. But that's not the case. So this the ideology that our people have in their mind, they need to put aside. This crazy thing, this crazy weak thinking, they need to put aside. And let's work for the peace. The peace right now, young Machari, that all other people are there in South Sudan. Let us support the peace. So I will stop here to give other chance to our comrade David Morris here. So I will give brother Agar Mabog is here. So I will give other people a chance. So this is the point. That's my point right there. So thank you guys.
Hello, Brother Agar. Welcome to Lagos State Media. Brother Madid, thank you. Actually, I was there yesterday when everybody jump onto your net and be like, so it's so funny when you see they respond to just a simple question. You just see there is a problem right there. Brother Agar?
Yeah, they don't, brother Peter, they don't believe in reality. They believe in their own, they make out of their mind, These people, they cannot change. They make their own. They all make their own decision. No matter what you come, you debate them. They will say that okay. They will see that you are not telling the truth because it was really. So yesterday when I write something, they get offended, and even somebody called me out. They say, Abraham need to be blocked. I say okay. You see? So anyway, so those are the things, we need our people to know this. People in South South Sudan. So these people they create the
of network. We need to give him a chance first to hear from him, and then we go to Ambassador Nagar.
Okay, Agar, just hang on a second.
That's okay.
While Kemabur, it looks like you have a network problem.
Always have a network.
Go ahead if you can hear us.
Can you hear us, Wal Mabur? Wal K Mabur.
Yeah, you still have a problem.
Yeah,
but anyway, Agara will still keep you as well. Let me give chance to Ambassador Amor. Probably he might have a network problem as well, but let's give him this chance. Look like his network is stable.
Yeah.
Comrade Amor, welcome to Lagos State Media. Nice to see you again. Amor?
Good morning. Honorable David Amor.
Yes, good morning.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, first of all, I have to greet you. It has been a while. My network has a lot of issues, sometimes blocks me from reaching you. Otherwise, I'm fine. But if you could hear me, then what are we discussing today? Maybe somebody can just take me through.
Okay.
Because I could hear it before. I heard about a coup in Mali, something that can even be similar or happening in South Sudan. Well,
Okay. Well, Comrade
it
Amor,
has gone. It has already. It had happened. The coup had already happened twice. Yes.
this is the topic, Comrade Amor.
Come
And
close to the microphone, Peter.
okay, it has two parts of it. One is that the fact that actually our society here abroad are actually uh, they are supporting the idea of what happened in Mali, and they are wishing if that could happen in South Sudan. That's one. Two, now the peace is standing steady. It's not in the pace that we wanted, but with the peace agreement, the Arusha agreement is also a part of the agreement where it's looking into that maybe the two parties, the IO and the IG, should actually reunify. The question is it imminent or for unification or it's split? If so, which one is good for the country?
Oh, okay. That's great in a way, because in every country there is what you call demographic, political demography. This demography, for example, the government that is functioning right now in South Sudan, it is a government that has got a lot of stakeholders. Even if you arrest Salva Kiir tonight, the rest of the stakeholders will tell you, no, no, you free him in order for us to continue.
Mm.
Or if you arrest one of them, the rest will say a similar thing. That is one. The situation in Mali, it is not similar to what is taking place in, or what can take place in one of the East African countries, simply because the political parties in those countries, they have got to do with an influence from the previous or the former colonials, like what is taking place in Mali. French have got an hand
In it.
So if they say, if they say that we don't need so and so, definitely you will have to get out and someone else comes in. So that is it. For us, it is cannot happen, because the government in Juba is a government which is led by many stakeholders, as I said before. Now let us just go into what Madita said. If we give it a chance, even those who would want to become rulers will get a chance later on in the future and become rulers through democracy. What we are pushing on now to say, let us implement the peace agreement. This peace agreement is, it has to be given a chance to an extent of taking people through democracy. That's it. We are not going anywhere before we are not subjected to the rule of law and democracy. So anybody who will violate this later on, then it violates all the prospects of the so-called peace agreement, and the party that will be violated will not join the other parties unless they have to go through this process altogether. As you may know, yes, we had an Arusha agreement that says if the IOs, if the IGs, I mean, what do you call them? They call them what? The prisoners or what? I don't know. So, or the G10, G10, they are called G10, although they are only remaining 4 of them now. They only remain 4, but they still call themselves G10. Anyway, if they had an appetite of rejoining the mainstream, which is the SPLM, then there is a provision that we signed in 2017, 2018, Arusha agreement, that the SPLM should be reunited and people moved on as the only single party that is ruling in the country. Yes, that one could be welcome if there is an initiative that indeed these people want to rejoin. But the point is, that is, the question is, you are rejoining the SPLM to come and do what? You see? Because even to do anything can, apot kayika, kujol ko yat, balo parallel. Now, these IGs, I mean, the IOs and the G10s and the rest of the political parties, they are doing what the SPLM has been doing because they don't have a programs. Where will they get the programs? Actually, they are implementing what the SPLM has been doing. So you do it wherever you want to sit there and do it. But let people go through a democracy, you see. So these are the aspects. When it comes into last time, I heard about you talking about the disarmament. Yes, it is true. The disarmament has taken place and it is an ongoing process. But there are some other places of which the government should have hold on a little bit, not to disarm them. Because if you talk of this exercise of disarmament, you must get the format. Get the format that has taken shape in Rumbek, for example. Yes, they are serious to hand over their guns because they are tired of fighting each other with it. You see. Second to it, if they hand over their guns, as they are doing it right now, and then the government should bring in enough force to guard them, even in their camps, in the cattle camps. Soldiers should be taken there and camp alongside that camp, such that they are a protection. It will give a government an upper hand, and it will give the civilian a value of knowing that indeed they do belong to a state. So it is not a one-way traffic. It is something that a lot of people should have learned from it. Unlike the incident that happened in Luanyagur, yes, it is true. That incident, it is a wrong kind of it because there should be no anybody getting killed. You see. And the difference between the time of the SPLA and the soldiers of the government that we have right now, there is a huge difference. There is a gap. And the gap is the misunderstanding of the word soldier and the word Mutin, which is a civilian. During the SPLA, we were told, do not allow the Muatinin to leave you, because if they leave you, they abandon you, and they go back to the garrison where the northern Sudanese are living, then who will cultivate and where will you get food? Because we are only community soldiers. We were community soldiers. That is the SPLA. Unlike the soldiers who right now have got a lot of magazine, a lot of food, a lot of whatever, then they should have been the right people to respect the civilian, not us when we were a guerrilla. This is something that we are going to work on it as a government, and we are going to make sure that citizen must be a citizen, must have a value. And that value is what will bring in the state of compromise between peace and war. And therefore, that incident, the government will work on it, of course, and if there is any way, even if those who died and they were civilian, the government must have to pay. They have to pay reparations or compensation. Because you, a soldier, you cannot just shoot on a civilian. How? Why? Why do you have to? And they are just, as we have heard from them, I don't know, that only one young boy came in with the scarf. And the scarf, if you might have known the conferences of the SPLM, there is a yellow one and a red one. The yellow one is for the NLCs. The yellow scarf is for NLCs, the member of the National Liberation Council. And the red one is for the civilian, I mean the members of the party. When there is a conference, they usually have them. So I don't know what did the soldiers understood out of it until the repercussions came as a result of a fight. So this is what has taken place. Yes.
Very good. Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Ambassador David Moore, for elaborations and the very good view of your points you put aside, and we listen to you. Thank you. I have to welcome back our brother. He came in the different name now is Balangson Simon. And also Jeng Padang is the chairperson of the Red Army. Welcome to Lake State Media Show, please. Brother and uncle Agweng Majok, welcome to Lake State Media Show.
Your sound is cutting off.
Pardon?
Your sound is cutting off. I did not hear you.
Okay, all right. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate your points, and we need to give chances to the rest, and we listen. Just stay with us, stick with us, and you will come back if there is anything needs you to come and answer. I will begin with the brother Agweng Majok. He was here first, and then I will go back to you, brothers. Just be patient, and Agweng. Go ahead and greet the audience, South Sudanese, and the topic is very clear. I'm quite sure. Eh? Oh, Agar is a member. I will come back. It's all right. Sorry, Agar. Sorry, Malen.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Lake Media State. Lake State Media, thank you for giving me the chance to say hello to the audience and to the viewers at this special moment. Special David Amor Major has spoken what I should supposed to say. And that's what will bring us to the light. Because most of the time we are in the dark, because people don't talk.
But when we talk, we will figure out what's wrong and what's right. Brothers and sisters on Lagos State media and all over South Sudan, I believe Lagos State media is the only forum now can put us together to exchange our views because they don't differentiate anyone. They welcome everybody, which is really, I like it. And that's why all the time when they are on show, I have to be there. Thank you very much. Isaac, I want you to walk me through the topic, even though a lot of people have elaborate about it. I just drop in. Maybe some are just gone before me, and I catch up at the end. I don't want to be at the wrong end of the stick, because a lot of issues are there. I have read minute, which is the Torit celebration, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Which all of us, which all of us, we are proud about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the creation. This is the creation of our state now, which is the South Sudan. We are proud of. It is because of Torit. That's why we have South Sudan now. Nobody will deny that, even though we are different.
Let me just get in, Agwek. Thank you so much, Uncle Agwek, and I appreciate your words and your question. The topic is that there is we as a South Sudanese, we have seen the celebration that is going on, and is something that we are proud of. 18th of August, or August 18, 1955, the mutiny that took place in Torit. That thing is the birth of the rebellion in the South before independence of the Republic of Sudan, 1956, 1st of January. Yeah, and also when we see the celebration, how it's going on, we've been here in this social media. There are some people who are celebrating it heavily, and there are some part of the celebration which are added in, like the mutiny which has occurred in West Africa, the country called Mali, just near. Yes, is in the west of the Darfur, just outside that part of the west of Africa.
In the west.
Yeah. So
in
that
Sahara, in West Sahara is almost at the West Sahara. Yeah.
That's right, geographically. So the people are talking about what has happened in Mali, why it shouldn't happen in South Sudan. And we are celebrating the August 18, 1955 mutiny. And there are some mutinies which has happened in South Sudan. There's one in 1991, 2013, and 2016. These are we still call it mutiny, because mutiny is when the blood is spilled. People fight. It's a dog fight. So what is going on in the head of our fellow South Sudanese citizen? That's the topic that we are talking about here. That's how I can interpret it. If Peter Ken can join me and back me up if I miss out anything. That's what I.
Brother God, you did not miss at all. You did not miss anything. What makes it interesting is, Uncle Albert, these people, they actually boycotted May 16, July 9. The question becomes, why would you boycott it? The very first thing those Mutinous in Torit initiated. So which one is which here? And here is the situation in Mali that we are witnessing in South Sudan. And yet, we don't understand we already have it. So that's basically the topic.
So that's.
I got the point. I'm in the bottom of the topic now.
Okay, go ahead.
That's why I have to ask that not to get lost. Because sometimes if you don't understand, you will get lost, and then the people will say that he is out of the topic. But I like that. You know, guys, people always, when you try to copy somebody without
Copy and paste.
making your own homework, it will end up, to miserable. Let us go back, because I love Torit. Torit is the cause of why we have our country now.
Absolutely.
And we should make it in South Sudan the official celebration. Because this is where the South Sudanese come together. In that time, 1955. And again, the South Sudanese came together in 2011 when they voted to get a country. This is what I know. In 2 times they come together. We came together to fight the oppressor, which is Arab, and we joined the fight, which was Anyanya 1, ended in 1972, and we got our High Executive Council, which is part of self-rules in South Sudan. Later on, it broke again, and we go back to the war in 21 years. So it is a continuation, because there are steps taken to liberation. Like Manuel say, Manuel Kembe, in his song, it's a long way to a freedom. So the freedom is not a shortcut; it is a long process. So we have to celebrate, and we have to remember our hero and heroine who lost their life in 1955, in 18 August.
Correct.
That should be official. Because the fight and the case was for all South Sudanese. Yes. I will come to those now saying that what happened in Mali, why it did not happen in South Sudan. Yes, it could be by miracle if, but what we call practically, it will not happen. For a simple reason. I will back up what my brother David said before, because I heard him when he was talking. The same reason that he mentioned, that we have got a lot of stakeholders in South Sudan, nothing could like that had to happen. Another thing, which I will add it, I will agree with him, and I could take that point. That is the point that I knew what happened in Mali is not going to happen in South Sudan. Just simply because of that. In other things, I want to add it. It is, as we all know, we are all South Sudanese. We don't agree all the time, and most likely, we always, when you lost your position, you will run back to the tribe and say that, I lost my position because those tribes are dominating. And before, when you are a leader, you are a member of that ruling elite. Let me call it elite, because what happened in South Sudan now, we don't believe ourselves that we have got ideology that could lead our country into one direction. And ideological is a party idea that could organize us. Because, like what our late Dr. John said in one of his speech, he was talking about the unity of Sudan. He said Africanism will not unite us. Arabism will not unite us. Christianity will not unite us. Islamism will not unite us, but Sudanism will unite us because we are Sudanese. We believe in it. Everyone will find himself there. The same thing is still happening now because all South Sudanese, they believe in themselves that every tribe have a right to see himself in that position. If he is not there, he will say, "Oh, this government is a government of nowhere because I don't see myself there." Or I will say that this is a government of Equatoria. Or if a Dinka is a leader, will say this is a government of Dinka. And forgetting that the government is belong to the SPLM and the SPLA, which are now shifting away from one another and then go and start say that I'm a DC, SPLM DC, I'm SPLM IO, but they don't want to escape the name of the SPLA. What is that? It means that maybe 100% I will agree with David in what he was speaking in his speech. Because always when you had a right thing, a right speech, you have to support it. I am not like Bob there when he was saying that when he was asked in Parliament of South Sudan, of Sudan, he said, "What is your opinion?" What do you say? My word is like Madam and Majuf. For the simple reason because he was not expressing himself because he doesn't know how to speak Arabic. No, when I say that, I'm like, what I support is David Major, because the way he put it, the same thing it was in my mind. So this is the case, guys. Do you know, until now, we have a lot of people who are really very intellectual in our community as South Sudanese. We are well educated. We are well expert, professional. But we have got one problem. We don't know how to put our ideas together to uphold our country. This is our problem. Everyone who want to pull the other down, say that, let me go. So that's the reason what happened in Mali is not going to happen in South Sudan, because we don't put our idea together. Simply because we believe in a tribalism, not tribe, because nothing wrong with the tribe, but tribalism is a problem.
Okay. So
from here, maybe I would like, because I like to listen to. That's why I'm always there.
Very good. Yeah. Thank you. We will. You need to. We'll come back again. The time we need to share with the rest of the panels to air out their opinion as well. First of all, I would like to apologize. I will be going to work shortly, but I will be listening. And a bit online, I will be listening to all of you. My chairman of the Red Army, and also my brother Balang Johnson, Simon, and Peter Nian. Welcome to the show. Peter, can you take over the show now? I will be muting myself, but I will be watching behind the scene until I go to work. I will be watching in the car. So thank you so much. Peter, can you take over the show?
Thank you, Brother Isaac. And please don't watch and drive. Make sure you go to where you're going first.
No, I will be listening the audio.
Okay, you better be listening.
Yes. All right.
Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, we'll hear from you tomorrow.
All right. No.
Yes, welcome everyone. I'll do here in order of the join. First, Agar. Yes, I see you, Yuat. Agar. I'll let you put in your input and followed by Wal Mabur, and then Yuat, and followed by Peter. That was the order in which you guys joined in. I know maybe you would have come after Wal went in and out. Wal was having really network problems. Agar, let me unmute you. Okay, you unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Peter Ken. and the rest of the panel, and also to our viewers, straight to the point. What happened in Mali actually is not going to happen in South Sudan, according to what we know as South Sudanese. Secondly, I will go, especially for those who are watching back home, to listen very carefully and very well that to be in the party, or if you own a party, you need to be in that country. You cannot form a party and you will be in diaspora, so that you will mislead your people back home that you guys are in my party and my party is this and this and this, and you guys, I will lead you to be your leader of the party, and then you are not home, which is the country that you claim to be a leader of that party. So you should be in your country, as Madid have stated earlier. You should be in your own country, and then you will be having your own party. And you don't even have to have something called army or militias that can prove you have a party. That is not the right way. So for all of us to be successful in our country and to lead it very carefully and very well for our people to be safe, not be killed every day and every an hour or every month or every year, the war can split out and people will be crying, there's blood and all this. So we need to think about our people first of all before you form something called a party or before you rebel. So all these things, especially in the media, which is the social media for all of us as South Sudanese people, we talk a lot in social media. We form a lot of parties, political parties, forums on social media, and we don't even care about what consequences are they going to come out if I form this party or if I do this forum within the social media. So you just deal with your idea and what benefited you, and you don't care about the rest. Even your members within that party who are back home there, I don't even know how do our brothers and sisters put all this without acknowledge their own people. So all this, it shouldn't be like that. If we need to come together, we need to be organized, and you need to be at home, not diaspora. If you are in diaspora and you call yourself a rebel, a little bit okay than a party. So that's my opinion to those who are abroad here with us. They're supposed to be there back home. If you rebel, you will do rebellion, and you are still there in your own country, not outside the country. So I will encourage you all, especially those who are back home. We don't need misleading, because all those people who are dying now, they are dying because of somebody else who is not even at home. He's somewhere else. So for us to South Sudanese to be a very successful new nation, as we all know, is a young nation. So all these things should be clarified, and you need to join a party or a rebellion or any kind of organization through consequences that will come out of it, and all these issues. And you need to be careful to your nation too, which is the people of South Sudan. So I will stop there to make it short for our brothers, because I'm one of the hosts too. So I will not go further. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother God. Hold on. Peter, Peter, I have mute you. Just hang on for a second. I have two more people before you. So I'm trying to do the best I can to make it in order in which you people join. Okay. Maybe welcome back when you have that time. Walmaber, welcome to Lake State Media. Hang on a second. Let me unmute you. Go ahead.
Thank you for having me. Yes, my name is Walkay Mabor. Now in that show now is Blangson Simon, my younger brothers. I just grabbed his phone, and I have to use it because my phone was have a technical problem. So that's why you see me with the name of my younger brother's Langson's Simon, because of my difficulty on my phone. And I think tomorrow I will be okay with that. Okay, so let me come to all these points that I wrote down there. It's been marked from 1955 until today, and the question why people are celebrating Mali, Mutiny. Well, I don't think there's something wrong to celebrate one of our nation within Africa who went into disaster that we don't need to hear. That country have suffered enough. Okay, it have suffered enough. But for those who are supporting dictators, they are so nervous, and they always see what is being seen by the nations is right. They see it is not the right thing, and I don't blame them for that. So it is their right to say people should not celebrate that. That's one thing. Let it go there. Come to South Sudan. It's a great thing that we celebrate 18 August. It's a very great thing that we have that place. It's the opening door. And that opening door, it opened our eyes. That's what brings 1991 also too. Not 1991, that's what brings 1982. And that's what brings 1975. It seemed like people are just running, circling in the back of the logics. And the back of the logic, people don't condone those because if they don't reflect themselves in it. So that's the big problem that we always see in our society. If you don't reflect yourself into that, so you don't bring that history up. And that's what take our country down until today. When you don't reflect yourself into something, so you seem like you're pushing yourself into a moon. Okay? So I don't see anything wrong on that. Come to, I see a question about the split of the SPLM. The SPLM is an ideology of the country, that a party. And if the party dictating the nation or dictating the followers, what do you expect? If I come and dictating my followers, or I come and dictating my children, or I come and dictating my younger brothers, what do you expect in me? Do you expect me to live with the people that I dictate? No. Everybody will go on to find a way to get independent, to live independently. Like I show up with my younger brothers. If I dictate them today, you could not accept me to have this child. He will just run away from me because I dictate him. But if I give him a chance to say something, or I give him a chance to call him a human like me, if I have a trouble, he will find me out and help me out like he helped me and enter in here. And this is how the value of the human. But if SPLM doesn't do that value, what do you expect people to unite under SPLM? Zero. Let me go to SPLM history. SPLM history, it started in 1983. The first word, our first bullet. We shoot our first bullet to those who seek for self-independence, of self-determination of South Sudan. That's the first word of the SPLM. That's one. Secondly, SPLM has been granted we thought is for the nation or a freedom for the all, but it become a freedom for individuals. SPLM is supposed to be for everybody, but it becomes for an individual group. Example, when they get out from Bor and they get out in the area called Pangat plus Rumbek, this is the three places those who just came and formed SPLM. That's those innocent places, those three places. Okay? Those who come, who are me, Arba, they have a person that we still a major general today, is Stephen Kwong. He was a trainee. Okay? I'm trying to give you all this. He was a trainee in Bor. He was the person who training people in Bor. My late uncle, Shigaya Tim, was a police in the town of my brother's David, now call himself Padang. He was a police there. He was not even a trainee. After they came in Bilpam, what happened? They ignored the person who was a trainee who came to the bush with them. They ignoring him and went and gave Chigaya Tem to be the trainer center, which is Bilpam. I'm trying to liberate. It's a question for the SPLM. It's a question for the SPLM.
I'm about to fall asleep. So can you at least narrow down about, so at least leave the whole story about SPLM. I am sure you know what the story is, but at this point, is it imminent to split for the viability or cohesive environment, political environment?
That's what I'm coming to.
Okay.
By the way, maybe I already.
Hold on. Remember, you have to answer, Madid. Are you the member of SPLM? Are you break away or is?
Okay. Maybe I took a long answer, or I took so many minutes, so I can give chance to others.
No, go ahead. You haven't answered the whole thing, whether it's good for the SPLM to reunify as a one party, or is it good to split it? So go ahead. I want you to answer that part.
Thank you. So Shigaya Tim has been given a chance to build farm, and the student Majaga God was being given a chance to Bonga, and the trainees, those who are very intelligent, know how to train people, was being left out, and was not even recognized as a high rank also too, to promote them up. They just left them in the corner that way. And they were joining SPLM. Not only that, to show that there something was behind. Every although they have only 5 Denka within that battalion, they have to pressure this battalion to make sure they have to have a song in Denka, and leave ignoring the rest. Even if they try their best to bring a lot of songs, those songs will not show up in the day of the media.
So
can you imagine this? And every battalion, when they try to leave the rest, after to leave those who will be the trainers of the next Majority of them will be this ethnic group that come Mr. Chigaya Tim or Mr. Majangagot. If I'm not Alayaram, this guy is gone, but Majangagot is still alive. Could answer that and say I'm wrong.
Well, like I said, we are not in history class right now.
That's the creativity.
Let me say.
That's the creativity. A sickness can be caused by one bacteria.
That was an SPLM then. What about now? Would you like to see it continue as the same SPLM, or would you want to see it split into a couple factions?
Well, we came to the country that we was not even yearning to. Yourself, you know only to liberate the whole Sudan. If I'm not mistaken, what you was being put into your mind is the liberation of Sudan. That's what you was knew only is to defeat Jalaba and make our country liberated Sudan in large. But happened to be God offer us our country and we become independent. What next? What happened in it after independence? 2 years only. The same ideology was being done in Bilpam and the same ideology was being done in Hunga is the same ideology that was being done in Juba. We need to be believed.
Excuse me, brother Simon.
I will be happy to hear that.
Yeah. The important thing, I'm not going to correct you or say what you have said is false or true. The important thing here is that if you go direct to the point, does not disqualify you from being a politician or from joining any kind of the party. So we need to say the fact here, although it's not the full fact, at least should be a quarter or a half of it. But if we go along through the stories and all this, so you will take us backward instead of the show, because the show is specific. So you can go ahead.
Well, what take us the backward is a question. If you don't know that, what take us the backward is the question itself. By the way, I will be stopped there.
Okay.
Give other people a chance.
Thank you. Anyway, this is what I take out of your information. So if it was SPLA then, it was Dinga actually, I don't know how to put it, but in a term that, it was all about Dinga. That's why you said at least, even if there were 5 people as a Dinga, all the songs were actually sang in Dinga. And then it turned out in 2013, that ideology, that's what happened in 2013. So I will leave it there. It's your opinion, and I cannot take it away, and I cannot fight you over it.
You know why? What has been formed called Young Council of Elders, that even now have something called Young Padang Media here. This is the background of the situation that was going on. Okay, that when in Kwajuk 2013 in March, I don't know, it's a March or April around there. When our president went and said, you buy the which broom, a president of the country, buy which broom.
So, do you want SPLM to be split into a faction? A Dinga SPLM and Red SPLM?
It's the president himself who threw his party away. It's not.
I will move on. You are media brother.
I don't know if you guys can hear me now, but well.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
All
yes,
right.
I'll give you in just a second.
So you say just wait a second?
No, go ahead, we can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, thank you very much, and I greet the viewers for Lagos State. Like the number I see there, it is 67, maybe more later on. I greet you guys. I think it's my second time. This time, Lano, the last time I come, last time, Kolan de Kichiro Bello, Kolan she de Kichiro Like I don't need to repeat it one more time, but I will talk about. I'm not gonna say the history, what going on. Like Wal say, Wal he call himself when young. So you cannot defeat Wal. He will tell you the history all night. He not gonna stop. So he know all this young is fanatic. What I can talk about here, that like Wal say, there is young elder, there is young Padang media. Like me now here, I am the host of young Padang media. So he come sometime and he come mess with all young Padang, but that's okay. When young anyway, so we will forgive him anytime. But what I'm gonna talk here for celebration, people talking about there. Anytime you can celebrate any event, we already know SPLA movement is belong to all of us and everybody. SPLA would like the tree, and everybody become now a big branch, and you don't even respect which one was the tree and which one is the branch. So that is what happened. SPLA, we know, is a mainstream for all of us. But if we come to the end now, like a salary, we have money now, so there is a division a lot. And that is why now you can see there is so many going on. But if we come for a celebration, like what you say, August 1955, I'm not going to say whoever celebrate there is wrong. Let them celebrate. That is what they like. But for me, what I like, I will celebrate, because like many times SPLA, the July 9 was being interrupted a lot. And this is the people who live there in South Sudan, and these are the people who benefit for what is now we have it. Because SPLA was liberated by people that did not even get any penny up to now. They did, or they here, Amula and Fusum, they Motanin, but they don't have any penny. But the people who are maybe mothers of Khartoum or Dale, now they enjoy it. Even now you say there is something is coming, they will refuse and they say, hey, I see a lot of people, they celebrate. And this is the people who celebrate. This is the people who say they don't like SPLA because SPLA is a Dinka Jing Council. Like brother would say there earlier, he say, the being a president Kir or president of Katoria or president of Nuer, other part will say, yeah, this is the people from Nuer, they making us this because of this, because of this. And the same thing too, the president is from Dinka and is chosen by everybody. Like we already know, Salva Kiir Mayadi did not come to nowhere. This is the Nuer, this is the Dinka, this is the Shilluk, this is the Katoria who brought him up to the where he is now. Salva Kiir is getting bad now because nobody getting money from him or whatever, but Salva Kiir Mayadi was pushing up for everybody. You can see the hand, the black hand up with the flag. That is the time that Salva Kiir Mayadi come up to be a president. But the people who don't know how Kiir come to the president, that is how they need to learn, but they cannot learn until Denka Bagulga Zololo Davazada Beselegal Fiu Nar Ma Basma. Lakin you cannot hear, you cannot believe it. Me, I vote for it for a referendum so we can go back to our country and then we have our own president. So Kiir, now, if you have a problem or you have a doubt about what is going, now we have 5 vice president. Now we have 5 in a screen here. I believe that Shaitan Zadu Mafi vice president for Samade, Shaitan Zadu, the Shaitan our Eid Warao, Lakin Mafi Nas, Mafi vice president 5. And you don't know why Kiramul Ajazed in Africa, Kulu, from all world, there is no 5 vice president. Why Kir did this one? Because to make you happy. He want you to be happy because the country is belong to all of us. So if we'll say I want to be a president and brother Peter president, me president, and Agwek president, and another Agwek there Agar president. So the big president is saying no, it's not gonna be like this. I will make you bike number 1, bike number 2, bike number 3, bike number 4, bike number 6, and this is what is happened for now. So when we see now Katoria, we have a bike president. We are vice president too, and from Nuer. We are vice president. We don't have. We have one from President Kir is from Dinka. So Shuluk is the one is left with no vice president. So it should be sick too, you know. So what I'm saying, the same thing. What we have it now when we say, okay, let us come together, but nobody wants. That is why now you see a lot of people they coming out. If I say I don't want to live with a Shuluk, because Shuluk will say, oh, maybe Dinka state have the money because Kir is the president, so I need my own. I need my own state. That is why now me, I'm from Padang. I say, okay, Salva Kiir Mayardit, I'm not down for what he doing. I'm satisfied. Even somebody come now, Kir is not. It's not a problem. There is no problem messing with the people. Kir is doing everything to everybody. Even now, you from social media here, you are the one who don't know what Kir doing. But if you go to Juba here, you can see the hotel out here, or you can see all the car. Inta gari suga rabi el bumut fi chara del lakin nas bita Juba del garin busug, you know, arbar el kubar. They sug arbar el kubar, but you are the poor from here, and that is why when you poor, you talking like a poor also, you know. And this is the problem we have it here in diaspora, or we have it the problem there. That is why a lot of people now they demand their own estate so they can be free from all mess. Because if I want Nuer to live with me tomorrow, they come to take my cattle, you know. Oh, tomorrow this cattle is taken. Oh my God, this is the fighting again. So this is what I don't need to be happen. So the celebration, the people doing, you guys, I'm not gonna go a lot history like while doing there, telling the history. We already know we've been born at that time anyway, so we don't need actually to go back again and repeat the same history. We need to brave telling each other what we can go along together. Because now Young Council of Elders is the only one other people talking. Okay, it say Young Council is the one who control the Juba. But if you go now, you cannot even see Young Council where they are. They don't know, they're not there. And everybody say it's a Kir. But Kir is not the one who met the country. It is the people who behind him, or the people like whoever call himself is celebrating the 1955 because he is happy because happened in his country, in his state, you know. But this is the only one I can tell to everybody that when you talk and you can celebrate your mother birthday and you can celebrate your father day, any day you can celebrate, but do not mess with the stream with the SPLA, because SPLA is the one. Because if we're talking about IO or whatever vice president, because IO was what before was brigade was SIM, now is IO, and it still keep continue, but it's coming from where? It's coming from the SPLA. Okay, and this is SPLA that we already know now. If SPLA is messing us or is doing this thing, it's not gonna be, oh, okay, this is Dinka. So what I'm gonna say, celebration the people doing there August 18 or August 15, 1955, I'm gonna say there is nothing wrong with them to celebrate, because you need to celebrate. Even me, like last year, 2019. I celebrate July 9 by myself in Washington, D.C. then, because I live in here. So I celebrate by myself in Washington, D.C. in my car. Why? Because I love it that day. And you don't like it, that is up to you. So, brothers and the ladies and gentlemen, that is what I can say. Let us be talking for what we know, because when it's come to your side, you support. But when it's come to other side, you don't support. That is a big problem now. We have it in South Sudan. But for me, as young Padang, I'm not talking, I'm a young elder. I'm not talking about that. That is one likely to hear from me. I'm not a young elder. I'm a young Padang. So that is the only thing. If I need my space, I will take my space. If I don't need my space, I'm not telling you, take your space, bring it to me. I'm taking my own space. And that is why now, this is my message now to Salva Kiir Mayardit from yesterday and today. Jeng Padang is need their own administrative in Upper Nile, and I don't need anybody to come and take my cattle anymore, you know. And that is what I can say. Peter, thank you very much. I'm not gonna take this along, and that is my message to everybody. And then I thank Lagos State for a second time for me, and thank you guys.
Thank you, Brother Yuan. Appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully, we'll see you soon. Awake, uh, let me unmute you just for a second. I know you wanted to respond to one mother. 1 second. Go ahead, Awake. While I get you, just hang on.
Thank you very much, brothers, the Lake Media or the Lake State Media, for gathering us to speak our mind and know one another. That is very good. And know how we feel when we are talking. Brother One, I heard about you, but I will tell myself to you, I'm from Luach, which is Tony's, the president, they call it. That's where I come from, and I'm living in Australia. My name is Agwek B. Majok from Luach. When I go back and ask the topic was relevant because when we put the topic, we have to talk about it. A lot of history that coming up. It may be the sleepover or the hangover you have, and you don't know how to put it. Then it come up with you in this show. But because we didn't ask about the history of the SPLM or the SPLA, but that is was what you have to come and tell us. It's okay. We can listen from it. We learn from you. Not bad. I'll take it from here and on. Why I introduce myself? Because sometimes when people talk, you might think bad and say that this guy is talking like that. Now maybe he's this and that. But for me, I am a member of the SPLM. I never been SPLA, but I am a SPLM. I start my political career from the Anyanya 2. I was the agent used to send the youth from Khartoum through our organization. Yes. Then from there, SPLM was formed later on, and I'm still with that. Until the peace agreement was signed, I'm still there. Until now, I'm still an SPLM member. But I'm a tolerant person which will never tolerate the few individuals which are doing wrong thing within the SPLM rank or within the SPLM coverage. So they will do wrong because they are the SPLM, they have to go away with it. No. Okay. You touch a very sensitive point, which I would not really like it to be here in this Lagos State media. Which you brought up, that is the Young Council of Elders, is a destructive of the country. To be honest, Young Council of Elders have nothing to do with the country. It is a social organization, and I will go back and tell you how it come up. It came up in 1992. And it was meant, it is a Young Council of Elders. Who started them? Who started? It was a student from Egypt and then come to Khartoum and they formed the Young Council. It was not a Young Council of Elders. Main of it, you have to recruit the people to join the SPLA. That was the aim of it. After the defection of Dr. Lam Riak, and the SPLA is about to collapse. So people start fighting because defection of 1991 He killed our elders. That was the reason of death of Uncle Peter Garpot, because he died with a heart attack when he heard that there is a deflection within the SPLM. That killed our uncle Samuel Rubol of heart attack because he heard that there is a split within the SPLM. So it is not a good history for whoever knows. But when the Jing Council come up, it is a backup of the SPLM. And the SPLM is stood until 2005. We signed the peace agreement. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, when the Council of Elders come up, that is a completely different with the political to do with Nuer, because Nuer they have a Supreme Council of North. Not Supreme Council. Yes, I know it, and 100% for sure. They have a meeting in Nairobi in front of Daniel Aroboy with the Jing Council of Elders, Supreme Council of Nuer. You call it North, but we call it Nuer. This is what I want to tell you from here. You went wrong. Okay, let me finish. You can come and beat me back later on. Okay. The organization of any community, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. But the people, when you fight within the elite, I call the elite the ruling people of the SPLM who are in J1. When they fight together and the other one lost, he will come back and mobilize his tribe and say that, you know, I was defeated because I'm Nuer, or I was defeated because I'm a Dinka, or I was defeated because I'm a Equatorian, or whatever the tribe he belonged to. Then mobilize his innocent people who doesn't know anything to fight on his behalf. This is wrong. Because our politicians are using innocent people to achieve the power, which I am not going to agree with them. I just came from South Sudan. I'm not against the government. I can go today and I can talk like what happened in my country, in my town, in my area. My people are died. I'm calling from here now in this Lagos State media. I want Rintweng and Bolakut to be called and they be questioned why people are died, innocent people are dying. I'm advocating in this one because innocent people are killed by individuals. I'm not tolerate that one because the innocent person cannot be left alone to die. So here, what I want to tell you, you want to derail the forum to the hot point that we can talk face one on one. No, we are here to put our opinion because the minute what happened in Torit, it was the beginning of the history of all South Sudanese. Everyone is there, and it is the beginning, and it is the continuation. That happened to be Anyanya 1. That happened to be 1975. That happened to be 1980. That happened to be 1983. And that happened to be a peace agreement in 2005. So the history has to be written. And these are the stage we have to celebrate. For me, I don't have any problem. I can celebrate 18 August. It is one of the very, very important history in South Sudan. I can celebrate even what happened to Alfred Agwert in 1975. It was the same continuation. And what happened, the same thing in 1975 Malakal. Okay? And Anyanya 2 in 1981, that was the formation of Anyanya 2. I'm there. I know it. I know who lost his life, and I know who survived, even from Nuer or Dinka. And by the way, this is why I want to explain myself to you, for you to know me. Because if you are going to talk later on, I know that you will bring up more, because I don't know you where you're from. I will go back to Lagos State Media. I don't want to derail the program that you have set up, but sometimes when the hot topic come up or the hot point come up, you have to answer it, because we don't want these things. This is our disease in our community, and we have to settle it. So if you are still talking in that history you brought from there until now, how long is it going to take us? Simply, if we want now, the government in J1 is a Dinka government. Sorry, there is some mistake. I said the are you hearing me?
Yeah, we are listening.
Yeah. I said that the government in J1 now at the president, is it a Dinka government or a Nuer government? That's my question. I leave it to my brother to answer it. And thank you very much. And God bless you.
Thank you, Uncle Albert.
If you have any question, just ask me, but I will stop from
I
there.
will definitely ask you, but that one, one Malad, unmute yourself and let not debate it, the debate in the two people debate. That's not what I'm here. Otherwise, I would have just find a time and bring you two to go head on. And I don't want to be dragged away from the history of what happened to the current situation.
Okay. Uncle, agog majok, wena majok, in chamot, in chamot pondoban, kaya ne lul kaya, in chanyik wen, shadon kene ran chol riakog majok, washet, tok,
Dr. Yongok.
chane nyi lan we are why when yes. So, kene kaya lul kene, a chia political. Kaban be yato, kabi ban be yato kaman a chia political. I really pass my condolences. Koi wan chi way bar pi panagok. You I got there. Lakin take that as I said it. Although he will be not, you know, quite. Lakin a view quite a big thing on online and be a ping. My condolences. I say you quite go upon the other. It can stop. Lakin a check will be quite something. And below where one shall we can. Let me come to this point. I'm not coming here to sabotage the show. I'm coming here to straighten forward. Because when people talk, they talk straight. And I don't like to walk behind. I go straight. That's why I bring all this. Because you cannot cut and paste. You write. You don't just cut and paste. You write. You cannot cut a word inside. The sentence will not be working. And that's why I bring all this. Because when people was talking, they talk. The sentence is not even going. You know, even someone who does not know that sentence will know exactly there's something wrong on that sentence. And I'm very sure this video people will go and listen for it. These people called young community, I'm a part of them. As I'm talking to you here, I'm part of Jiang. I'm a grandson of Jiang. If you know the area called Pagarew, if you see that airplane that fall down in the river, that river, when I was child, I was always taking shower in that river. And when Nyan Pipagaro, okay, I don't have any problem with Denka, but I have a problem with you, young council of elders. You are the people who are destroying our country.
Yes.
That's the only thing that I have to tell you. And what mess up Salva Kiir is you, young council of elders. Because Salva Kiir is an innocent guy.
Okay.
But you guys mess him up.
Well, the reality is, now you want this to be a young council of others show. What
I'm just trying to, he brought something. I have to reply back, boss.
No, you started and
Okay, give a chance to others. Thank you. Okay, no. Okay, no. Give a chance to others.
No, I'm trying to be honest. This thing has nothing to do with my show. If you want to talk about Young Council of Others, no, and actually I will invite them and you will talk with them. Actually, what kind of thing that you actually blame Young Council of Others? If you had to point out. But this is not a Council of Others show. It's not about Young Council of Others.
Okay. Give the other people a chance then. And I'm very glad that if you could give me a chance that you can even call Young Council of Elders to debate with me one day. And then I will come and tell them exactly what went wrong. I will be very glad. You can give us a day that we can have a debate, I and them. When a Nyan did, I'm ready with them. When a Nyan did, I'm ready with them to have a debate with them. And they are the people who are messing this country. And I'm very ready.
Brother, calling the young elders to come and debate with you is not our problem, and it's not our call also. So someone who needs young council, you can go direct to them or make your own show and ask them what were wrong with them and what kind of the job. So the description, so they will also give it to you directly. But for us to call young council is not in our timetable.
Anyway, for those who actually blame Young Council of Others, please, if you can remember, before President Daniel Aramo died, he called both elders from Nuer community and Dinga community to Nairobi, and they had a debate. So if you have an issue, look at that video and understand exactly who is wrong and who is not wrong. So I don't see every single time when there is something that is discussed about South Sudan, regardless whether it has nothing to do with Young Council of Elders, people want to inject into a topic. If you want to blame Young Council of Elders, you think they have a problem, you sue them in whatever court you want to sue them. Exactly, and go and make your case. Here related to Young Council of Elders. It's simple. If the extent is going to be reunited, or is it good thing for the country? Is it good thing for political environment? Is it good thing for the peace? That's a question right there. Okay, and then for the people who are pressing what happened in Mali, and they are hoping it's supposed to happen in South Sudan. Is it really good to happen in South Sudan at this point? You should have. Listen, one. You know better. You should have answered on those instead of dwelling on Young Council of Others. It's not helping your situation. It's not even going to make sense now. You just have to call them out in something that is not related to what you are being asked for. I thought you came here to have an say, Jinupin, yet the reason why, we hope what happened in Mali should happen in South Sudan is A to Z. If not, it's A to Z. The same thing, if the unification of SPLM party is not good thing for the party, you let us know from A to Z, and this is why it's a bad thing to reunite those two parties. But here, calling Gen Council of Elders is not going to solve any solution. It's not answer to what we are looking for.
Okay, Uncle Ken, let me tell you this. You can even go and review this video after we finish, and then you will see what brought me to mention Young Council of Elders. I'm not going to dwell about that, like you said it. That's true. Let me inject it. What is being said? It's been said 3 times now that there is a so-called Nuer Council something. Let me tell you this. I'm not denying there was nothing like that. When they formed that, we, those who are still calling ourselves the youth, we ran up and we reject that, and they end up into self-care. They are with self-care today. They are not with the Nuer community. We don't like those kind of things. We reject them. And they went and ran up to self-care, and they are united with my uncle, Agweb. They are united together, and they are the people who are still destroying South Sudan today. Don't tell me that. Okay? We reject them. Seeing they went and met on behalf of Nuer in Nairobi with the late president. No more. They didn't come to our Nuer community again. And they end up into Juba within 3 months after they signed, after they have that agreement. They went and end up in Juba. Tell us who is still in the bush now with us. We refuse.
Well, it means
okay? There is nothing like that. They have it there as an official for them and their king, not us.
Well, it means
no,
that
we don't have something called council.
Actually, what they were
after you rebel, after you rebel against them, because Nuer always are rebellion.
We are rebelling for reason.
You rebel against your elders.
We are rebelling for the reason that bring you into that country. You were in Khartoum. You were in Khartoum, and we rebel against Khartoum. And brought
I'm
you
not in Khartoum. I'm there, my brother. I'm there. I'm in the middle of conversation.
Okay. Anyway, with that being said, if you still
okay, Uncle, sorry if I heard anything bad. I apologize.
No,
it's fine. You did not have any. There is no hard feeling. It's just going to make sure sometimes
this is
one topic, because I am sure there are a lot of Dinga want to say something about Nuer elders or whatever they call themselves, or White Army or what. And the same thing to Nuer. There are people that still have prejudices and had bad feeling about Gen Council of Elders when they cannot elaborate one particular thing that has happened. But let's keep it there. I am sure you know who are the Asian Council of Elders, and if you want to reach someone, and I want to bring you here, I don't have a problem.
I will be very happy. I will be very
happy. Them if you know them, you have to tell them and say, "You guys are doing bad thing, and this is it." And if you don't believe, let's go to Lagos State Media and until then, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother Denkamis. Welcome to Lagos State Media. It looked like you were driving and you stopped driving. That's good. I was not going to bring you up if you were driving. Selfie first.
Yeah, no, thank you. No problem. I would love to greet all the viewers and my brothers who are in the forum discussing the issues of South Sudan. Greeting to you all and the moderator, hoster from the Lagos State Media. I always hear and I work nighttime sometime. That's why I didn't make it on time. But I've been listening to what people actually have been saying. A lot of people they come and they go, and I think Don Legend was the one Kim person. He always 5 minutes on the show anyway, because he have to attend that thousand of South Sudanese show. So to send out this party. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you for participation. You guys are making a good move. That's what we South Sudanese should do. Instead of just trashing ourselves, there's a lot of video that somebody can come. You come by yourself and try to gang up others and abuse other community and individuals. That thing is not going to help us. But we have to uh, find a way to move forward, discussing issues. Whatever you said today is actually not yours, but somebody who is listening down there, it will change their life. They will take it, and they will put it in practice, and some way along the life they will implement it for them to go ahead and proceeding with their life. So that's why I said it's always good to discuss. Um, thank you for welcoming me. And I know the question why people are actually wishing uh, what happened in Mali to happen in South Sudan. That was a question that raised today, and that's what we are discussing. And number two is it's August 18, 1955, Torit Mutiny. Those are the two topics that I've seen, and that's what some people have been actually putting their point across. For what happened in Mali, it's not new to us for people that are celebrating. They want it to happen in South Sudan. There are people that are not actually tired because they don't live in the country. They live outside the country. They don't even recognize the suffering of their own families in their own house. They don't. So anything that has to do with military um, interaction, they enjoy it. But we are a different. We are a different country. We are a different communities. Mali is a different community. They do their own thing. Um, I think we see you. We see you. You want to say something or what?
Yes, yes. I'm sorry for interrupting. My younger brothers have to take his phone because I was in the live for my younger brother's phone, and now he have to leave to go to his house. He was helping me, so that's why I don't just want to go lock out without let you guys know. So nice to be with you guys. So you continue. I support what you guys doing. And I'm very happy. If young council elders have a chance, let them. You can call me, and then I will be debating with them. Uncle, go and tell young council elders and say, "When you don't, we we walk."
I keep them then if they know and you're Korean, we just
Okay. Let me say before you go about Young Council of Elders, that issue to me, my brother, is not negotiable because it's something that is not going to be negotiated, and there's no need to discuss it with them because every community is growing with that hinders in the community, and it will come. You will be one of the Nuer elders later in the future. It doesn't. It come with a determination of age. It's not just something has to be discussed like a political party. So for me, we don't have a point to call them to come and discuss it with them because it's our choice. We Dinka, we have elders. My father or my older brother is considered is a elder. So when he called me anytime, I have to come and talk to him. So this is non-negotiable. That's what you can take. I don't see the point of calling them. What are they going to discuss here? It's not a political party. That's not, it doesn't have to concern any other tribe in the country.
I respect them as my uncle. I respect them as my grandparent at home. No problem. But I don't want to go. I don't want them to go dwelling on behalf of young community into government issues. That's unacceptable.
Okay, well, good night. I think
We talk about it next time.
listen, if one of the King Council of Elders was actually a president, there would have been no looting in South Sudan. Looting would have stopped long time ago. So anyway, I will see you next time.
Anyway, I have to go back to my point. Thank you, brother. I'll see you next time. The reason why people are they really don't recognize the suffering that the people in action are suffering in the country. So they enjoy the tone and the sound of anything that is actually being said or done by somebody, and they're not even aware of their own achievement. So those people, we will not have time to convene them, and they will never stop. They will always wish South Sudan to have a bad life, like what happening now. People are dying left and right. But we have no choice. Let them keep saying what they're saying, and whoever is moving on with South Sudan believe that South Sudan is a country and it having leaders, we can just keep moving. My message to them: it's good to wish yourself a bad luck. It's good sometimes because it's unrealizable. You don't realize it yourself, and that's why you keep wishing yourself a bad luck. What happened in Mali is not fun. It's because the country is different from South Sudan. South Sudan, we are very aggressive. Uh, we are very aggressive. If something happens like that in South Sudan, it will take us like 7 years that we've been fighting, and it's still not end until now. So the military coup happened, and it's the same thing I said in 2012 when the attempted coup occurred in Mali. And I wrote it on that day. I said, "This what happened in Mali is going to happen in South Sudan in near future," which was a bad luck to me because I wish myself a bad luck, and it happened. And I knew why. It was you study people behavior, the behaviors of people that were actually leading the government, were the leading um, politician at that time. And I quote one thing when the vice president Riek Machar came to New York for the United Nations summit, General Assembly, and his message was actually a campaign. He was campaigning against the president, and it brought a real a red line to me that this is going to happen. Something is going on here. Where in the country that you happen to be a vice president, you are you send outside the country to represent the country to the other nation to represent your own country, and you start coming there, appear in front of the summit, and you complaining or comparing against your president, and was the one that's sending you to that mission. It actually brought me attention that there would be something wrong in South Sudan. I wish I did not say it, but it happened. That's what the people still do, and the same thing I said today when it happened in Mali today, before the president put in a resignation. That's a provocative resignation. So was actually those military personnel that staged the coup were the one forcing him to write that provocative resignation. So we know it happened. It come back to celebration of 1955. Yes, we all know there are people that don't celebrate. They don't celebrate July 9. And one thing is, my friend, you're not going to celebrate another July 9 or other day. other than July 9. I'm telling you. At least South Sudan is going to be another two countries. Okay, good luck with it. You will celebrate Independent Day of your own country when it come out from South Sudan. But as of now, we have July 9 is our Independent Day. When it comes to this uh, celebration, yes, it's very important to celebrate it. It's our roots, history. That's where our history began. It start from there and came through. It did not end there, but it start from there, but it did not end there. So for me to put it another way, it did not actually bring us what we were actually looking for, but it was actually keeping people attention that we have what is called um, South Sudan, that it should be liberated. So when we celebrate it, it's fine. To me, I celebrate it. It's nothing wrong with it. But people that are taking it that in their own way, that is an important day other than Independent Day because of it start in their home area. It's because head of the mission was from your tribe. You are totally wrong. You're just killing yourself. You just killing yourself. What you do is not it's not going to be it's not going to change the history. The history of South Sudan is goes like the way it is until we have 1983. I have to take one thing off here. 1991 is not part of the history because those people, they were not actually fighting against the government when when the SPLM is split into two. The SPLM Nasser did not fight against the government. Then they were fighting against South Sudan, the South Sudanese. And South Sudan was not an independent country. So you cannot fight against the other rebel and can be recognized. To me, it's not part of the history, to be honest. It's just we bring it up because bad thing happened at that time. That's why we bring it up, but it's not part of the history. I have to make uh, my point. I have to make it short, but let's keep it up. 1983, which is May 16, is going to be celebrated, and um, August 18 is still going to be celebrated as is recognized by the government in the country. That's fine. These are on our struggle. We can't separate them. They are on our struggle. Let's keep them together instead of just try to in your plate. You try to push push part of your meal away from your plate. Then you are killing yourself. There's nothing you're contributing. So I have to stop from there. Other thing that came across, like Gian Council of Elders, that thing is to me. I don't waste time with it because it's Gian Council is they are council of Jiang as a tribe. They're not a political party. There's nothing to debate with. We have to bring on board and debate about it because it's they're not bothering anybody. If you want it, go and form your own whatever council, Nuer Council of Elders, Kakwa Council of Elders, Taposa. That's up to you. It's not. It's none of our business as Dinka. So where we meet in the government of South Sudan, but we have our own affairs that we have to deal with. So I have to stop there, brother Peter. I took long. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you, Brother Deng, and thank you, Uncle Agwet. It has been a wonderful night. I know we South Sudanese, we like to blame others for our own, and it doesn't really bother me at all for those who actually, said whatever they say about Young Council of others, but trying to bring that as a topic of this show is a problem
Yep.
because after all, like you said, Gen Council of Elders, they do not have a political party. They do not own a political party. They barely say anything that regards South Sudan. I am sure if Gen Council of Elders having a say in South Sudan affairs, we wouldn't have actually five vice presidents. That's just a ridiculous situation. But we accept the fact that we have to do our own right. Um, with that being said, I want to say thank you to all of you who have contributed to the show and those who are actually watching the show, making your own comments and also as a part of your opinion. We are here just to have a discussion, find a common ground. If we all can come together, we don't have to agree at all. If I will be asking or my team here at Lake State Media and say, oh, we have to agree to one, that's basically illusion that no one will actually accept it. Uh, we want to make sure every South Sudanese, regardless of your political affiliation, tribe, or region, you have a right to say what you have in your mind. The thing is, we don't want to choke each other to make sure that to say, oh, what I'm saying here is the right thing. If we can have a discussion among ourselves, well, it, then we have a future. We know that one day we are always going to be sitting on the same table, and regardless of our situation, and say, hey, Mr. Z and Y, you have this. This point is not what it's supposed to be, and this is not how we're supposed to run our country. For those who were actually wishing South Sudan to have the same situation of Mali, yeah, they should have understand that now Mali is going to be in that long run where every now and then when somebody have a gun and they don't feel like who is on the top or how the country is run, they just they take overnight. It might not be bloody today. If we remember in 2012, it was bloody. Who knows the next cycle, who is going to pick the gun, probably is going to be bloody. And that's what they train, and that's not the step. As a South Sudanese, we don't want to step in. The reality is, we have already tried, and that's why we are in this crisis. When did we try? We tried in 91, we tried in 2013, we tried in 2016. It is not a feasible, and if you think that's a quick solution to South Sudan, it's a myth. It's not a quick solution to South Sudan because of our political region, because of our tribal mindset, and brother David Amor just stated clearly, because of the stakeholders that are involved in current peace in South Sudan. If you wait for that, you're not gonna be happy with it because nobody is gonna accept it. With that being said, I want to say again, thank you for tuning in. Uh, Keep in mind, we are not here to defend anybody, but we are here to make sure those who have no voice have their voice heard. And if you're complaining about Gen Council of Elders, if you know them well, you should reach them out individually, not come here and make it as a point that you want to talk about. Uh, so with that being said, I want to say thank you, Uncle, for tuning in, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Until next time, we will meet again. And yeah, it's simply the situation in Mali has nothing to do with our political environment. It's a mess situation. So, and it's a bad wishful thinking, and it's not going to happen ever. It will not happen. Until then, I'll say thank you for tuning in, and I wish you well, sleep well, and good morning wherever you are, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, and good night from all of us here at Let's Stay Media. I'm your host, Peter Kenny, as always. I am out. Well, regardless of what it is, just know that it is not something that is feasible in our environment. Uh, it's, it's not something that will go well with us as South Sudanese, regardless of what it is. Olonyamo, please keep your opinion to yourself. Whatever you said is okay. I don't have to take it as the right one. Cheers and good night, buddy.